Daniel chapter 8, the Hasmonean Kingdom. Daniel chapter 8, verse 8. The goat became very great, but at the height of its power, the large horn was broken off, and in its place, 4 prominent horns grew up toward the 4 winds of heaven. As Daniel chapter 8, verse 21 explains, the shaggy goat is the king of Greece, and the large horn between its eyes is the first king, Alexander the Great. The 4 horns that replaced the one that was broken off represent 4 kingdoms that will merge from his nation but will not have the same power. Daniel chapter 8, verse 9. Out of one of those kingdoms, out of one of those horns, another horn which started small grew in power to the south and to the east and toward the beautiful land. The kingdom that the small horn grew out of was the Seleucid Empire. The small horn was the Hasmonean Kingdom. Daniel chapter 8, verse 23. In the latter part of their reign, the 4 kingdoms that came from Alexander the Great. When rebels have become completely wicked, a fierce-looking king, a master of intrigue, will arise. He will become very strong, but not by his own power. He will cause astounding devastation and will succeed in whatever he does. In Daniel chapter 8, verse 11, the kingdom, the Hasmonean Kingdom that has come out of the Seleucid Empire, will set itself up to be as great as the commander of the army of the Lord. It will take away the daily sacrifice from the Lord, and his sanctuary will be thrown down. Because of rebellion, the Lord's people and the daily sacrifice were given over to it. It prospered in everything it did, and truth was thrown to the ground. Then I heard a Holy One speaking, and another Holy One said to him, "How long will it take for the vision to be fulfilled?" The vision concerning the daily sacrifice, the rebellion that causes desolation, the surrender of the sanctuary, and the trampling underfoot of the Lord's people. He said to me, it will take 2,300 evenings and mornings, then the sanctuary will be reconsecrated. In Daniel chapter 8, Alexander Jannaeus is the Hasmonean king, the deceitful king that this chapter talks about. Jannaeus forges an allegiance with Ptolemy IX, but uses the military aid of Cleopatra III, mother of Ptolemy, to undermine Ptolemy into handing over to Jannaeus numerous regions that were under Ptolemy's control. In 96 BC, the Judean civil war began. Jannaeus supported the Sadducees, who did not believe in the resurrection nor everlasting life. This created instant rebellion by the Pharisees. They were outraged when Alexander Jannaeus performed the water libation ceremony, and instead of pouring water on the altar, he poured it on his feet. The crowd threw hard citrus fruit at Jannaeus, and he immediately retaliated, ordering his soldiers to kill the rebels, slaughtering over 6,000 of them. Jannaeus constructs barriers around the altars and denies the people from presenting their daily offerings and sacrifices, which were done traditionally twice a day, mornings and evenings. The war continues for another 6 years, or to be precise, 2,300 evenings and mornings, leaving over 50,000 Judeans dead. In Daniel chapter 8, verse 25, the scripture speaks of how deceived the people are, and that when they feel secure, the king, Alexander Jannaeus, will destroy many. This is true, as more than 800 Pharisee rebels returned to Jannaeus, believing it was better to live under the rule of a wicked Jewish leader than to remain part of the Seleucid Empire. However, the wicked king had the rebels crucified and the throats of their wives and children cut before them, while Jannaeus ate with his concubines. The Bible reveals that Jannaeus would be destroyed, but not by human power. He died of illness, seemingly a fever.